Hello and welcome to this Hero installation session. I'm Roberto from the development team of Hero, and today I will show you how to install Hero using the Hero Quick Start Guide, a simple guide that will be provided by the Hero documentation itself when installing Hero. So let's move forward. First thing off, I just want to show you that I have a Linux server, in my case a Red Hat server, on which I'm going to install Hero. And as you can see right now, I have the Hero file, the Hero latest build, and I have a JDBC driver that I will provide to Hero, and I will explain a little bit later about this. And I have opened my Hero Quick Start guide. So without further ado, I can directly start by moving to the next slide. And here in this slide, we have just the command for untar our file. So I will just copy this. This is really simple. The first step is really easy. Let's just execute this. And right now, checking the content of my folder, we can see that now we have the list of all the Hero files. Now, as you can see, I have this JDBC driver for DB2. This is because Hero supports workload automation environment running both on DB2 or Oracle databases. And to have Hero able to communicate with those databases, you have to provide the correct JDBC driver. And the JDBC driver is related, of course, of the database that you are using and the version that you are using. So I already downloaded the JDBC driver correct for our environments, and the only thing that I have to do is to move this file within the config directory. So now that I move this, this will be automatically discovered by the installation script of Hero. So let's just move forward with the quick installation guide. Now we will have the prerequisite check, and those are composed on 4 steps. The first step is taking a couple of slides. This is just to check that we have the right version of Docker and the right amount of memory RAM. That's because Hero is installed through a Docker infrastructure. It's all container based, and we will install the Hero with the help of Docker Compose. So as you can see, the first check, the first prerequisite check is just to execute this command and verify that our Docker Compose version is correct. So as you can see, I have 1.24 and the requirement says 1.23. So I'm fine and I can move forward. Of course, we have all of the prerequisite charts, have the commands or the steps that we need to do in order to solve the prerequisite error that we may encounter doing those checks. So let's move forward. Here we have to check the soft and the hard U limits. So let's just copy the script, the command, sorry. We can see that we have unlimited for the soft, and checking the hard, we have unlimited too. So the minimum value acceptable by Hero is this one, 65,536, and since we have unlimited, we're well above that. So we can just skip this check and move forward. Now we have to run this command to verify the max map count of our server. So we'll click enter, and as you can see, the number is actually the same as the minimum required by Hero. So we don't have to execute any action, we don't have to solve anything, we're good like this. If the number was below this value, we should have to change this sysctl.conf file, adding this information in the file, this one. Let's move forward. We have the fourth check. This check is actually required only on Red Hat Enterprise Linux or CentOS distributions. So this is to check that SE Linux will not block Docker and the installation script while Hero is installing. So we just have to execute this command. Since it's saying permissive, we are fine and we don't have to execute any command for solving any kind of configuration issue. So we just move forward once again, and now we're ready to install Hero. Our server is well configured. We are checking all the requirements, so we are good to go. As you can see, here says to take note of the IP address or the host name of the server. We are saying this because during the installation script execution, we will be asked of providing the IP address of the server or its host name. So we have to keep track of this. Just one little notice on Red Hat and CentOS. Whatever version of Docker you are using, the host name should always be the fully qualified domain name, the FQDN. Otherwise, Docker will not be able to resolve the host name of your server, and so Hero will not work properly. For this installation, I will use the IP address instead. So we are not going to focus on this. Let's just go back to the server and let's just start the install Hero script. So first thing that we can see is that the script is asking us if we want to accept the HCL master license agreement. This file will be present in the build that is downloaded from Flexera. So you can just read the file and then you can just type yes to accept the file. Here we will have some warnings or some information related to the configuration of the server. So if we have some problems with the ulimits, stuff like this, we will see some warnings here. So the only thing that we can see is that we have not 8 gigabyte full gigabytes of RAM, but we are close, so that's fine for us. This warning can be skipped. And we can see that the driver for the database was found. And so the installation will automatically use this JDBC driver while installing Hero. So now just ask if you want to proceed. We say yes. And now it says that the certificate was not found. So customers can provide their own certificate if they already have some approved by CA authority. If not, if a certificate is not available, no problem. Hero will be installed with its own self-signed certificate, and so the installation is not blocked. We just have to say yes. Okay, now it's asking to us to provide the host name. As you can see, this is a required value, so we cannot skip this step. And I will provide for this installation the IP of my server. So this is my IP. And now I can just type enter. Now here we have to provide the deploy path. So this is the folder where Hero is going to deploy the monitors on the VUA server that Hero is going to monitor. So if we just click enter, we will accept the default. And so under the user home of the work automation server that we are monitoring, it will create a couple of folders. The first is a folder with the Hero IP or host name. Inside, we will have the folder of the IP of the server that we are monitoring. And inside there, we will have the scripts. Since I don't want to accept the default value, instead of clicking enter, I will just select my name, in this case Roberto, and I will click enter. Doing this will make the deploy part equals to Roberto. This means that all of the workload automation server that I'm going to monitor will have this Roberto folder under the user home. And within the Roberto folder, I can see the monitors that have been deployed on that server. So moving forward, now we have been asked to provide the port. So just by clicking enter once again, we will accept the default, but I don't want to accept the default, so I will just type 8080 and I will just go enter. The port is free, so now we have to provide the license ID. As you can see, this is not optional, so you need to have a license ID to progress with the installation. I have one here from our development server. So this is something that will only work for this installation. I will click enter once again. And so now we have been asked if we want to prune hero volumes. This is a question that is important only if we already have some kind of installations of hero in this server. Because volumes, it's where the data from hero and the configuration from hero is stored. So if we already have an installed version of hero and we want to upgrade that with upgraded configuration, we have to type yes to upgrade the configuration. Otherwise we have to type no. Since we don't have any hero installation in this server, this is the first hero installation, we will just type no. Now we just have a quick check of the information that we have provided previously. Uh, Everything seems fine for me, so I can just type yes and we will proceed with installation. The first step, the installation script will try to delete any existing hero installation. And so if you see some errors, this is just because this is a fresh installation, the first one. So the errors that you can see at the top of the output is actually expected and we can ignore them. As you can see now, Docker starts pulling the resources needed for installing Hero and configuring all of the Hero containers. So everything from now will be just automatic. We don't have to enter anything. So I will just leave the installation going and we will see us after the installation has been completed. And here we are after a few minutes. When we see this screen, the installation is pretty much done. So as you can see, we have a lot of green done in some components. This means that Docker was able to build and create and start all of the hero images and hero containers required for the execution of hero itself. So all automatically post installation phase has been started by the installation script. This installation phase just waits for 70 seconds to wait for the hero startup, and after this we'll just execute a couple of APIs to complete the hero configuration. So once we see this page, we're almost done. All of these installation has been completed automatically. So we just need to wait this execution of this couple of APIs, and we will be able to access Hero UI. As you can see, the first has already been started. So while it's executing, I just wanted to show that after the creation of all the containers, we can see that the installation script provides to us a couple of links. The first one here, what says /dashboard, is the access link to the Hero dashboard, so to the Hero web UI where you can use Hero directly. And this /keyclock/out is the link to accessing the Keyclock authentication service, especially for accessing the administration console. In the administration console of Keyclock, you will be able to manage all of the users, their passwords, and their roles. Uh, this all of because all of the Hero web UI APIs and all the Hero infrastructure has been protected with this Keyclock tool. So if you want to change how you log inside Hero, which users can log in here and which roles they have to have in Hero, you will use the Keyclock administrator console. Of course, Keyclock support user federation, so you can configure your ldap environment directly within Keyclock. As we can see, those APIs has been called, and now the installation is finished. We have one more question from the installation script. This question is just an optional step. If we have the SMTP configuration from our company server, we can provide them to Hero, and Hero will use the SMTP configuration to send alerting emails to a list of email addresses that will be provided during this step. So the only requirements are all the SMTP server information and the list of emails where I want Hero to send messages. By doing this, Hero will enable the alerting service that will automatically send emails to the list of all the provided emails, of course, with the information of the environments that have changed status over time. In my case, during this installation, I don't have this information, so I will just type no, and just like this, the installation was completely done. Of course, this not means that now the alerting service is blocked forever. I can add this information on a later date, on a later moment, and inside the Hero documentation, we will have all the steps required for doing this. Now, let's go back to our browser and let's enter our Hero UI to check that everything is working. We can just click enter, and if we see the login page of Hero, yeah, we can see that. This means that the installation has been completed. We can have a deeper check actually before seeing this page. Just on the same terminal that we have installed the Hero, we can execute this simple command, docker ps, and this will show the status of all the containers that Docker is running. And in this case, we can see that all the Hero containers are running fine. None of them are restarting or stopped or killed. So this means that the entire infrastructure is working as expected. And we can see that just by accessing the login page. I will just enter with the default username and password. Those are present in the configuration, and they can be changed through the Keycloak admin console. So as you can see now, we have the Hero page. This is a little bit empty because we have created a fresh installation of Hero, but right now we can just start creating environments, retrieving and saving work automation servers, and start to monitor them. So just like this, the automation has been completed. We have checked that everything went fine because we were able to access Hero UI, and Docker says that all the containers are running as expected. And this ends this session of Hero installation. Thank you for your time, and I hope this guide will help you install Hero in the easiest way possible. Thank you, and have a nice day. Bye bye.